Good morning, good afternoon, and a very happy Friday, guys. I hope you are doing well today. I hope you have a fantastic week so far, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend as well. Before I jump into the topic that I'm going to talk about today and say hello to the chat, first of all, what I want to do is say thank you. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed, who has joined live streams, who has been on this crazy journey with me so far. We have just passed 2K subscribers on the channel, so thank you. Seriously, guys, this would not be a channel without you. I still cannot believe that I'm this lucky to get to talk to people, you know, day after day, week after week, people that I consider friends and family. So thank you, seriously. Oh my god, getting choked up already. You guys, you are the best, so thank you so much. But let's say hi to everybody before we get into the topic at hand. So we've got low spec Linux laptop, we've got Brandon the anime guy, great to see you. We've got the lovely Alicia Narvo, hello sweetheart. We've got Pod Racing Palpatine, good afternoon. We've got the lovely Gun Bunny and Shockwave, hello and good morning, guys, great to see you. Let's see, we've got our favorite polar bear, Snorter Poopers, hello. Great to see you. Who else we've got? Captain James T. Skywalker. Hello, sweetheart. Great to see you. Let me scroll up and see who else we have got. We've got X11 Bravo Comics. Good morning. We've got the lovely science fiction audio books with Brightest Day. Hello, sweetheart. Great to see you. Psycho Dwarf 9. Hello, love. Good morning. Stunning and Brave Megatron. Great to see you as always. We've got Keely Chow, Roll Tide Keely, good morning. Good afternoon to Archer Colin, great to see you as always. Gibbering Gibbons, good afternoon, great to see you as well. Roger Ryder, howdy, good morning. Let's see, so I'm not missing anybody because I know you guys were in early this morning. And first of all, let me grab this super chat from Salty Texas, and good morning to Salty Texas, great to see you as always. Thank you. He says congratulations to you, magnificent and amazing woman. With respect and great appreciation, and oh, Pratchett rocks. Thank you, absolutely. And hopefully by the end of this show I will kind of tell you guys why Pratchett rocks so much, at least for me. But Salty, thank you. Thank you for welcoming me into your channel. Thank you for your faith, and thank you for your friendship. Great working with you as always. Thank you. Let's see who else we've got. Let me scroll down. We've got Shockwave. Great to see you. He says if Elon buys YouTube, you'll be up to 5K in no time. That would be incredible. I actually hope Elon does buy YouTube. How funny would that be? If Twitter caused that big a meltdown, can you imagine what would happen with YouTube? Good afternoon to Ian so forth. Great to see you. Good afternoon, rather. Oh, it skips on me, guys. You guys are busy today. Gibbon Gibbon says the best Pratchett line for me is give a man a fire and he's warm for a day, but set him on fire and he's warm for the rest of his life. I love that line. Perfect example of Pratchett's somewhat dark humour, but great line. Thank you. And also, thank you very much for your super chat. He says, congratulations on 2K subs. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, love. Great to see you. Lyle Hammock, good morning. Says good morning and congrats on 2K subs. Absolutely deserved. Thank you so much. My love to you and the family. I hope you guys are doing well today. We've got Dennis McCloud, great to see you, says Ola Purple, great to see you, good morning, Decepticons Cave of Villains, good morning, lovely Sherry, hello sweetheart, and TZ Burton, I see you as well. Good morning, great to see everybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera off for a little bit. I will be back later on, and I'm going to minimize myself and add this to the screen. So what I was thinking when I was kind of setting up the show last night, I was thinking, what is the best way that I can kind of convey my love and really talk about the author and the worlds that he's created in the best possible way. So let's get on with it. Let me bring this up. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that okay. So a little bit of an overview on Pratchett and why for me he is my absolute favorite author. I've been reading Pratchett probably for longer than I care to admit. I will say it's more than 25 years. And leave it at that, because a lady never discloses her age, but it has been a long time that I've been a fan of him. The first novel that I ever read of his was actually the fourth novel in his series. It was Mort, and I stumbled across it accidentally. It was a very small kind of excerpt that one of my English teachers actually put together in a kind of a work package that they'd given out. So they'd pick like little snippets of different authors' works, and they just happened to pick out a little bit from Mort. It's where the character of Death, who in the Discworld is a anthropomorphic skeleton. He's very much the Grim Reaper in the classic sense, but not in a malicious way. He is actually one of my favourite characters. He's a very sympathetic character in the books, and Death is tired of being deaf. He wants to be something else. So he actually goes to a basically somebody who's a equivalent of a job centre, I suppose would be the best way to describe it. And he wants a new profession, and it was this that really caught my attention. It was the humour. It was the surreal idea that Deaf doesn't want to be deaf anymore, and he wants a new profession. And I was hooked from then on. I had to know more about this author, and I'm incredibly glad that I kind of fell into this world. So there are 41 novels, main novels in the Discworld series. This isn't counting things like the science books, and some of them I will show you later when I come back on camera. We have children's books, we have art books, we have role-playing game books, we have video games, we have books to do with the live action adaptations that were done. We have several adaptations of his work, both live action and cartoon. So this is a wide array of works that he was attached to. But let me give you a little bit of background about the man himself. So he was born in 1948 on the 28th of April. Sadly, he passed away from complications with Alzheimer's in 2015. He was only 66 at the time. He was diagnosed in 2007, and from then on he had a lot of focus in bringing more awareness to Alzheimer's and how much of a debilitating disease it really is. And that whilst he continued to write, that was something that he was incredibly passionate about. He wanted to kind of take the stigma away from Alzheimer's and dementia, and he was very public about his onset of the disease, and he talked about it and how it affected him. And I think for a writer, it was an incredibly cruel blow for him to lose his faculties the way he did. For someone whose entire life was words, he said that he could look down at a keyboard and letters that he knew were there, he wouldn't be able to see because his brain didn't have the connection, that even though the letters were on the keyboard, they simply disappeared, so he couldn't physically find them. And some of the stories that he told were very sad, but he never used this as a way to get sympathy. It was almost a crusade for him. It was something that he was going to fight to the very end, and he really did. And that's one of the things that I appreciate the most about him, other than his sense of humor. Let me just quickly jump back and see what you guys have to say. Great to see you. Gumbunny says, I love going postal, also like Def's granddaughter. Susan is a fantastic character, absolutely. We've had a few more super chats, so thank you guys, thank you so much. And hello to Arsh790. Great to see you. It says, hi, Valkyrie. I know nothing about Pratchett, but it's always a pleasure to follow your and Sil Abdul's channels. Thank you. Warm welcome to you. Yeah, I hope that as we talk and as I gush about my favourite author, I can kind of give you an idea of why I love him so much. Good morning to our Necron. Great to see you as always. Good morning. So we have got, let me grab this one first of all from Psychodwarf9. Thank you so much, love. He said, Pratchett is a masterclass in humanity and psychology with comedy icing. I couldn't have described that better. Absolutely. The one thing that I've noticed very much about his writing, and in particular, especially his children's books, is how accessible they are. You know, you don't have to have a deep knowledge of fantasy tropes to really kind of fall into these characters. The first few books certainly were very much fantasy based. They were almost a parody of a lot of fantasy tropes. The Colour of Magic and the Light Fantastic in particular really kind of take tropes, you know, damsels in distress, Conan the Barbarian, and, you know, all these sorts of things, even things like for role-playing games, you know, how you carry your weapons and stuff around, you put them in a chest. Well, he invented a chest that has little legs that follows its owner around, and that became one of the most popular characters as well, so it's great. Shockwave says, I have the GERP supplement. I do too. It's sitting next to me at the moment. And it's actually one of the books I'm going to pull up. Love this book. Gibbering Gibbons says, I saw the cover of Reaper Man in '94 and thought it looked cool. Heavy metal sensibilities. Yes, that classic cover. Again, another riff on the Bat Out of Hell cover, which has been done a few times with the different artists, but absolutely fantastic. He said, bought it, loved it, read everything he wrote. Absolutely. And I love learning how people kind of fall into this world. Some have been reading from the very start. Some only picked up his books after Terry sadly passed, and they've developed a love of it ever since. Let me say a massive thank you and good morning to Papi, Mexican Iron Man himself. He sends us a $9.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Let me just check to see what it is. It's a pair and it says #1 fan. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mexican Iron Man. Hope you're having a fantastic week so far. Thank you. Really appreciate that, and always great to see you. Let's see what else you guys have got to say. Psychodorf says, Susan's words, do the voice on it, do the voice on it. The Bookman, don't do the voice on it. Yes, Susan is such a great character. If anyone wants to learn a little bit more about her as a character, I would highly recommend Hogfather. Both the book and the Sky One live action 2-part series that they did. Highly recommend. Fantastic cast. So thank you, Psychodorf. Great lines. And guys, if you've got any favourite books or favourite lines, throw them out there, because I really can't wait to know what you guys think. Archie Collins says, I think the first Pratchett novel was one of his sci-fi ones, and I didn't even realise it was the same author when I first read Discworld. That is very true. A lot of people don't realise, and they think he's just a fantasy author, you know, with the funny books that he writes. But he's quite accomplished. So he's done several sci-fi books as well. They've done things like the history of Discworld, which has woven in our actual history and kind of integrated the Discworld into it as well. There are books on as I said, there are art books. There's books about what else did he do? Folklore. That was a really good one, which I've almost completely blanked on. But yeah, there's so much more to what he did, and some of his earlier work as well. He did a lot of children's books things like Carpet People, for example. But the early sci-fi books that he did were The Dark Side of the Sun, which I think came out in 1976, and then Strata, which came out in 1981. He also did the excellent collaboration with Neil Gaiman, Good Omens, and a kind of standalone book as well for a lot young adults, which was called Nation, which had absolutely nothing to do with any of the other books that he wrote, but still a fantastic read. He also published a lot of short stories, which have been put together in a couple of collected titles. I think Blink of a Screen was one, and A Slip of the Keyboard was the other. So he has an extensive range when it comes to books. So if you think he's just about the Discworld, there's so much more to discover. Let's see who else we've got joined. Oh, Collins' Strata was the first one I read. I remember reading Strata, and like you said, I didn't realize it was the same author, because the sci-fi books are quite serious. There's not a lot of comedy in them, which really kind of throws a lot of people. Salty has got a great quote for us. He says, if cats look like frogs, we've realised what nasty, cruel little bastards they are. Style, that's what people remember. Great quote. Jabrin Gibbon says, thinking about it, I saw Truckers on the TV show. Yes, Truckers was Cosgrove Hall, if I remember correctly. It was the stop motion animation series that they did way back. And Archie Collins says the Trucker Saga, the Carpet People, and Johnny and the Bomb. Yes, and I think Johnny and the Dead was the other young adult book that came off that. Let me say a very warm welcome and thank you to Ian So Forth. Thank you so much. He sends us a £25 super chat. He says, it was said that life was cheap in Ankh-Morpork. This, of course, completely wrong. Life was often very expensive. You could get death for free. One of my favourite lines from Pyramids. Absolutely. Love that quote. And I'll probably go into it in just a little bit when I go into the order of the books. But Ankh-Morpork is such a great setting for a lot of these books. So thank you, Ian. Really appreciate that. And good morning, Keely Chow. Roll Tide, good to see you. So, as you guys can see, what I've got pulled up is probably the most easy to follow diagram that I could find. There are some that are a little bit more kind of artistic and that people have made, but this one I think is probably the easiest for someone who wants to kind of jump into these books. So the way that they've laid this out, and I'll make it a little bit bigger so we can actually see. So big thank you to this person who created this model. So it all depends on what you want to read. Now this is laid out, if you go read it back and forth, this is the order of the books, but this person has also been kind enough to lay it out into kind of, I wouldn't say they're genres, but I would say more character-based. So if you want to learn about death, these are the ones that you need to kind of pick up. So it would go Mort, Reaper Man, Soul Music, Hogfather, Thief of Time, although death appears in some capacity in every Discworld book because he's deaf. He always has some sort of cameo. But these are the death-centric ones. If you are a fan of witches, we've got you covered. So we have got Equal Rights, Weird Sisters, Witches Abroad, Lords and Ladies, Masquerade, and Carpe Jugulum. A lot of these take tropes. So, for example, Weird Sisters is a play on the Macbeth. It basically takes that story and flips it on its head. Lords and Ladies is Phantom of the Opera. It's elves. That's Lord and Lady. So we think Midsummer Night's Dream. Masquerade is very much in the spirit of Phantom of the Opera. Carpe Jugulum, as it suggests, deals with vampires. And Witches Abroad is a kind of Cinderella story with a twist. So a lot of these take very familiar tropes and stories that people are will find very accessible, but there's always a but when it comes to Pratchett, which I always find incredibly endearing. Wizards, very much the same. A lot of people will say start with the very first novel, Colour of Magic. I would probably get cancelled for this, but I have got to admit, at least the first 3 books I'm not a massive fan of. Terry, when he was writing these, was still kind of finding his voice. So if you compare Colour of Magic to one of his later books, probably his greatest and most popular is Night Watch. It's certainly my favourite. His style is almost completely different between these 2 books. It's actually very interesting to see the way he, as an author, found his voice and develop these characters. Some characters change dramatically. One of them would be the best example, Granny Weatherwax, who is a witch. Now, the Granny Weatherwax who is introduced in Equal Rights is completely different to the one that we get when we get to the Tiffany Aching books. When she's introduced, she's she's almost a character or a caricature in Equal Rights of a witch, but by the time he kind of fleshes the character out and really gives her a personality of her own, she is a formidable character, and she's probably my favourite of all the characters that he's created, but there are several that I love. Sam Vimes is one of my favourites as well. Very much a rags to riches story of the somebody who was quite low down in the Night Watch in Ankh-Morpork, who married and then became a captain and a very well respected man along the way. So some fantastic characters that we have, but a lot of these, as you can see, depending on the reading order, they branch off, but you could probably pick up any of these books and enjoy them. You don't have to read all of them in order to know what's going on. Very few of them have connections to other. They're very much standalone stories, apart from a few that I can talk about. But as I say, there is the branching off of the Science of Discworld, which I always enjoyed as well. Let me scroll down and see what else they recommend. So the City Watch is probably a lot of people's favourite collection of characters. Guards was made into an absolutely terrible adaptation. Steer clear of that, but the book is probably one of my favourites as well. And as I said, my absolute favourite is Night Watch. Great stories all around. One that a lot of people might be familiar with, if you've seen the Sky One adaptation, is Going Postal. This is a character that I think Terry, had he not come down with Alzheimer's, I think this is a character that he really wanted to flesh out more and do more with. Unfortunately, we only got 3 books with Moist von Lipwig, but 3 of them are great. Going Postal especially is a wonderful story. And then we do have a few standalone ones that have no connection to any of the other ones. And each of these are fun for different reasons. Of all of them, my favourite is probably Small Gods, because it covers belief, I think, is the best way to say. It's not really about gods, it's more about humans and the power of belief that we have. If something is believed, then you can pretty much manifest anything, and that's kind of the theme of that particular story. It's a really interesting take on who needs who more. Do people need gods more, or do gods need people more? A couple of the other ones, Moving Pictures, is a lot more light-hearted. It's all about Pratchett's take on Hollywood, and it's full of tropes like that. The Truth was never that a big fan of. It concerns newspapers and how false news can be spread quite quickly. And Monstrous Regiment, a lot of people like, but I was never a massive fan of that one, I've got to admit. Let me jump back and see what you guys are saying. Colin says, I used to work around the airline industry, and the scene with the flying tree in Witches Abroad, absolutely hilarious. Pod Racing Palpatine says, what a great name, Moist Von Lipwig. Absolutely. Terry was actually criticised quite early on for having very outlandish names for a lot of his characters, and he kind of called them out by getting a phone book, flipping through, and I think within about 30 seconds he actually found someone with the name Weatherwax. So he kind of proved that they're not that outlandish at all, to be honest. Psychodwarf says, I was typing even Pratchett's weaker books are still entertaining. Absolutely. I completely agree with that. So thank you. I couldn't agree more. There are no bad Pratchett books, but some are better than others, I think would be the best way to to say that. Salty gives us another fantastic quote. She was beautiful. But she was beautiful in the way a forest fire was beautiful. Something to be admired from a distance, but not up close. Lol Hammock says, hold on, do we have a University of Alabama fans in the chat? Have I seen a roll tide? Absolutely. That's our Keely Cham. Psychodwarf says, Purple Valkyrie, for me, it's got to be Snuff with the harp playing Goblin Girl. I completely forgot about Snuff. And hello to Paul Cook. Great to see you. Good morning. And hello to MB Geek. Hello, I hope you're doing okay. And my love to the family as well. It says, was buying dog food at Walmart or Hot Wheels in the look of the tab van. Had to get it, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm glad to know. Absolutely. There's some fantastic things out there, so grab them while you can. Gibran Gibbons says, totally agree on the first couple. They're okay, but not there yet. Absolutely. I would consider them very much a work in progress. With a lot of authors, this is the case. You know, they're just kind of finding their voice and finding how to use these characters, but still entertaining nonetheless. Ian Safor, that's a fantastic comment. He said his characters become a lot more 3D as he became more invested in the world he was building as a whole. Absolutely. And the fact that he did put so much effort into building these characters. You know, each of these books could have been standalone, they could have been, you know, throwaway characters, but I think he knew he had something great with a lot of them. That's why he was so kind of attached to them, especially Sam Vimes. I think, if I remember correctly, in an interview, if I can get my words out, he said of all the characters, Sam is probably the one most like himself. It's the one that he kind of gravitates towards and sees himself in the most. Pod Racing says Cohen, the Barbarian, and Gaspo, the Wonderdog. Yes, I have a soft spot for both of those characters. Cohen, the unkillable but very aged now barbarian. He's basically lived so long and he's slain all of his enemies that he is a very old man, and he's a little bit sad that, you know, he has lived as long as he has, and he's somebody who very much wants to go out in a blaze of glory. And if anyone has read The Last Hero, which I would highly recommend, because it is a beautiful book, beautifully illustrated by Paul Kidby. I might actually grab it because it's just behind me to show you some of his artwork, but it's a wonderful book. Let's see what else you guys are saying. TZ Burton, thank you, my love. Great to see you as always. He sends us a $20 super chat. He says, Purple Valkyrie, congratulations on 2K. You work so hard. I enjoy listening from work. Well, thank you. Were it not for people like yourself, I could not do this. As I said earlier, guys, this is because of you. This channel exists because I am incredibly lucky to get to talk week after week, day after day with amazing people. It is the chat that keeps this going. So thank you. Seriously, thank you so much. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Ian says, the only one I really disliked was Monstrous Regiment. Glad that got to the overkill stage. Yeah, I agree. So this was a story that I won't spoil the twist, but it was a joke that got old pretty quick, and it just, you know, as the book progresses, it wears very thin very fast. So I was like, it's not his best one, but I still enjoyed it. Let's see. Hello to Martin Acosta Santana. Great to see you. He says, greetings, my excellent friends, and hello, the ever lovely Purple Valkyrie. Great to see you, Martin. Good morning. Let's see what else. Softy's coming up with some great quotes. He says, I think you just want me to read these. Just erotic, nothing kinky. It's the difference between using a feather and using a chicken. Pratchett the genius. I love that line. So good. Oh my gosh, you guys are nuts. So let me see what else that I could recommend. I mean, we were talking a little bit about the adaptations, and there are a few more that are coming out. One of the books that was highly acclaimed was one of his children's books, which he won the Carnegie Medal for. Incidentally, if I remember the story correctly, when he went up on stage to receive this, it looks like a very large gold coin. He managed to covertly swap it with a chocolate coin. So he gets up on stage, he accepts the award, and then proceeds to unwrap this, what they thought was the Carnegie Medal, and took a big bite out of it. So I think people in the audience were wondering, have these always been made out of chocolate? Which I thought was really funny, and the sort of thing that Terry would do. He was very much somebody who liked to make mischief. I was lucky enough to get to meet him several times over the years at different conventions, and he was always very approachable with his fans, very, very down to earth. But he was also somebody who didn't suffer fools lightly. But he was always very kind and very gracious whenever I met him and got to talk to him about his books. And I think because he was so approachable, that the people that got to meet him and got to work with him, I think that left a huge lasting impression on them. Just going back to the adaptations, we do have another one that's in the works. It's an animated, as I said, for the amazing Maurice and his educated rodents. It was the one that he got the award for. It's a children's book. It's basically a take on the story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. And it's got a pretty cool voice cast. It's got Hugh Laurie, Amelia Clark, David Thewlis. So it's one that I'm looking forward to. I think it's kind of in production at the moment, but I would be interested to see it. As far as I know, it's going to be released by Sky Cinema later on this year. So I would imagine it's going to be a Christmas release, because that's generally what they do with their animated adaptations. Jim the Viking says, so many great books, so little time. I know. And there's so many recommendations that people have sent as well to me to check out. I know people are saying that you must read Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, and said that is going to be my next kind of real deep dive into stories, and I'm really looking forward to it. And let me say good morning to Mackany Draws. Great to see you. He says good morning and happy Friday, Purple. Happy Friday to you, love. I'm really looking forward to joining you on Sunday. And guys, if you aren't subscribed to Mackany, please check him out. He is a fantastic artist, and I can't wait to sit down again and have a chat and just relax and do some art on Sunday. So that is going to be a fun show. Let's see who else has joined. Hey there, it's been a while. Mr. Buttcraft Media says howdy to the lovely and beautiful Purple Valkyrie. Well, great to see you as well. Always a treat. I hope you're doing well. MB Geek says, I recommend Death, The High Cost of Living. Awesome. I will add that to my list. Thank you. Always looking for new recommendations, guys. As I say, it's great to see you. And speaking of great to see you, Neo Sevens, good morning. He sent us a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, stopping by to congratulate you on 2K subs. Oh, thank you, love. It's always good to see you. It's great to see you here, and great to see you in Sil's chat as well. So I hope you're having a good day. Thank you. Really appreciate that. We have got a new member. It is Mackany himself. Thank you, sweetheart. He's joined. We have a new berserker in our ranks. So thank you. Great to see you. And a huge thank you to Lyle Hammock as well. He says, hail to you, dear Purple. Congrats on 2000. As a Lord of the Rings fan, which Pratchett books would be the best place to start. Here's to many more subs. Oh, thank you so much. And again, my love to you and your family. I hope you're doing well at the moment. For me, if you were going to jump into it, again, it would really depend on what you like. If you are a Lord of the Rings fan, I would probably say The Wizards would be a good place to start. So I would say start at the beginning with The Colour of Magic and read through. If you wanted something a little bit more contemporary, I guess, I would say Guards. It doesn't really have much in common with The Lord of the Rings, but if you like the kind of camaraderie and a group setting set in a huge city where they have to deal with guilds, so the city of Ankh-Morpork is ruled over by a single ruler, the patrician, and he came to the conclusion that there will always be crime. There will always be people that are willing to kill other people. So the best thing to do is to form guilds and have people join them. So we have things like the Assassin Guild, we have the Thieves Guild, where crime is actually regulated. We have things like the Musicians Guild, we have Clowns Guild, we have all these guilds. We have the Seamstresses Guild, which is the ladies of the night, I guess would be the most polite way to call that. All of these things, which you think are, part and parcel of living in a big city, and technically a lot of these would be illegal. He legalized them and made them govern themselves, and bizarrely enough it works. It's like spinning plates, but because they are all accountable for their own actions now and for what their members do, it works. There's still petty crime and things that the City Watch have to deal with, but on the whole, the guilds themselves take care of the day-to-day things, which is interesting. Until something like guards happen and a dragon attacks. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Salty says, Wheel of Time, yes, absolutely, yes. Listening to you guys talk about it and the love that you have for these books, I am going to invest in them, so absolutely. Paul Cook says, Ian Irvin has a fantasy book series, which is pretty good too. I will add that to my list, thank you. Shockwave says, well, Gun Bunny and I are off to take a yowling cat to the vet for vaccinations. Promise you I put the noisy thing in the trunk. Oh my gosh, my best to you and the cat. I hope it's okay. Take care and have a lovely weekend. A warm welcome and great to see you. Nash, the prisoner, says, hey, oh, my lovely. Hello, great to see you as well. And Monkey Jeebus, great to see you. He says, Planetary and Manhattan Projects are good books. I love these recommendations. Keep them coming, guys. So thank you. Paul says, I'm definitely going to check out Pratchett books now. I finished The Wheel of Time. Absolutely. If you do, send me a message and let me know what you think. If you're going to jump into them, would recommend the one that I started with, which is Mort, which is the 4th book in the series. Let me quickly check. We have a membership milestone. Thank you so much. We have Colin, who has been with us for 15 months. Can you believe it? Thank you. He says, oh, and congrats on the 2K. Thank you so much, Colin. Thank you for always having incredible comments. Love getting to see what you have to say. You have some fantastic takes, and the knowledge that you bring to so many subjects, honestly, I'm blown away. So thank you so much for your support and for being such a fantastic person. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Brandon. Really appreciate you as well. Let's see if I can get this right first time. Gary Banjo Worthington. He says, giving you a thumbs up and hello. Thank you. Thank you so much. Great to see you, as always. Colin says, if you do start Wheel of Time, I recommend you avoid the TV series. Yes, several people have said avoid the TV series, so probably down the line I will watch it, but first I want to get through the book series because I don't want to have thoughts of this terrible abomination that Amazon have done to kind of cloud it. So yeah, books first if we do anything else. Let me say a big thank you to MB Geek. It's great to see you as always. He says, Wednesday was a bust, but I think we should do what we talked about on books. I have many writers that I think are great for talking about. Anderson, Butcher, Green, Riordan, Grants, and Grats on 2K Welland. Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. Anytime you want to join, you know you're always welcome, MB Geek. Love getting to talk comics with you, but I would love to talk books with you as well. So absolutely. Let's make it happen. And thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Let's see what else you guys are saying. We have got Sil Abdul. Great to see you, Sil. He says, happy 1,999 subs, just in case YouTube acts funny. Ha! Thank you, love. Yep, got to kind of edge it just in case, but yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Honestly, guys, I never thought that I would get anywhere near this. So to have so many people want to join and want to join the live streams and join as guests and just talk, I'm blown away. So thank you, and great to see you. So good morning. Let's see what else you guys have got to say. We've got more recommendations. David and Leigh Eddings, The Beauregard, 5 books, and Mallorean, 5 books are good, fun, classic fantasy series I loved as a kid. Definitely recommend. Awesome. I think I've read some of those. The names look familiar, but I think, like yourself, I read them when I was younger, so it might be worth going back and rereading them. So thank you. Good morning to the Nerdporeal Lifeform. Great to see you. We had a fantastic show on his channel last night, getting to talk about the Northmen. So thank you for that. I'll take a quick drink. Sorry, guys. Really enjoyed getting to do that. Damn it, did it wrong again. Banjo Sandwich. All right. But it all kind of rolls together, and All right, I stand corrected. Mea culpa. But it is always great to see you, so thank you for that. Also, it is great to see Ms. Martin Muses. Hello, sweetheart. She sends us a super sticker of a rose. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Good morning. Let me check again. We've got another membership milestone. It says it's from Psychodorf9, who has been with us for 15 months as one of my berserkers, one of my guardians. He says, wait, how? I've been here how long? 15 months. Yes, we are, guys, just on the cusp of the 2-year anniversary. It's coming up on the 9th of May. So, yes, you have been here that long. Thank you, Psychodorf. Thank you, love, always. Jim says, don't ever watch Amazon's Wheel of Time. It's really that bad. Paul Cook says, I had to reread the first book to erase the TV show. Oh, God. I've heard it's bad, but yes. Good afternoon to, or good morning rather, to D-Bob Martin. Hello, sweetheart. I hope you're okay at the moment. It's great to see you. Ridge Rider, banjo sandwich. Yes. What I will do is I will write it on a post-it note, stick it to the screen as a reminder. But, or I can just keep, pronouncing it incorrectly. Let me take this down. If I take this down, and I'll turn the camera back on, because there's a couple of things that I do want to share with you that require, unfortunately, being on camera. So, as I mentioned, one of the books that I was surprised that actually existed and took a little bit of tracking down. So, if you are a role-playing fan, we also have the Discworld GURPS, which is a great book. It's got, even if you're not a role-playing fan, I'd recommend it just for the art inside. Fantastic. It gives a breakdown of all the characters, should you ever want to use them. So that is a great book to have. It's a little novelty that's worth picking up. And Deba, thank you, says thank you all for getting Purple to 2K. Now let's get her to 3K, or Dr. Doom will come for you. Paul Cook says, wow, the art looks amazing. Yeah, if I pull that back up, this is the artwork by the great Paul Kidby. Now, Josh Kirby was the other artist who does a lot of the covers for the Discworld books. This is probably my favourite artist who worked extensively with Terry. Let me see if I can find a good picture, and I'll show you his artwork. Whoops, maybe knocked my glass over. There we go. Okay. So, if you guys want to know what the wizards in the Unseen University look like, that's really bad. There we go. Okay, there we go. That gives you an idea of some of the characters that you can use and some of the idea of the art in these books. There are many more art books, especially from Kirby. He puts out a lot of work. He actually did a exhibition a couple of years ago where all of his paintings could be seen, and it's great to see them up on the wall. Some of them are enormous. You're thinking that these are quite small paintings that he did, but no, some of them are massive and incredibly detailed to see. Martin says, unfortunately, being on camera, says the adorable one. Oh, you guys made me blush, but I'm feeling adorable today. I've had to put my glasses on because my eyes were a little bit tired, but that's okay. But one of the things I did want to leave you with before we kind of wrap up today and let you go and enjoy the rest of your Friday and your weekend was a little bit of a reading I wanted to do. Now, it's not really from any of the books. It's simply just something that Terry put together for the fans from one of the excuse me, for one of the conventions. So what he did was a little advice for life, which I thought I would like to share with you guys today. So if you will permit. So, A Little Advice for Life by Terry Pratchett. I have been blessed with good fortune in my life. I've turned a passion into a profession, and those who know me know that I know that I still enjoy it immensely. Though what some might call my craft, in quotations, I've brought interesting characters, worlds to life, and through the power of words, I have, I hope, shone a little light into some of the darker corners of the human condition. I've always maintained that it is better to light a flamethrower than to curse the darkness. But my prime purpose has always been to tell good stories. The fact that people seem to like them is simply a bonus. Whilst I may have 10 doctorates, who's counting, I confess I've never had the educational opportunities that people have today. I never attended or completed university. My learning came from doing, from reading, and from experiencing life as a father, husband, and journalist. I have occasionally been accused of literature. Some say I have a pack-rat mind, and I've learned over time to put this to good use, sharing my knowledge in a way that I know best, through my stories. In university parlance, this is known as knowledge transfer, and I, right here and now, would like to transfer some of my knowledge over to you. I know firsthand that fate can be cruel and unusual at times, but she's hardly ever deliberately malicious. She just suffers from bad timing in the main. So use your gifts, your talents, to the greatest possible effect while you can. Spread joy whenever possible, laugh at jokes, tell jokes, make puns, and bugger the imbuggerances. Read books, read my books. You might like them, you might find something else you like even more. Look for these things in life. Question authority, champion good causes, speak out against injustice, do not tolerate bullies or bigots or racists or anti-intellectuals or the narrow-minded. Use your education to challenge them. Broaden their perspectives. Make the world you interface with a happier place. These are your choices, choices you have been fortunate enough to have been given, so don't waste them while you have them. Don't look back in years to come and wish you had grasped a fleeting opportunity. Grasp it now with both hands. Live, strive, love. I don't smoke, but Sam Vimes enjoys a cigar or two, and there's possibly more of me in Sir Samuel than any other player on my pages. He would probably tisk at such a blatant plug for good. He's been known to harness darkness, but he puts it to good use. Love changed his life, and now life is something he loves. I believe that the sum of all of our experiences, good and bad, is what makes us who we are. That has the making of real magic. Please, go out into this world and experience its wonders. We live in interesting times, so it's best to enjoy the journey while you can. And I find the occasional brandy helps. Good luck. The end. And because this is Terry Pratchett, he did add a footnote. He says, or perhaps I should say, to be continued. I love that little passage. The first time that I read it, it really hit home to me. It's something that I think is probably, for a very small excerpt, one of his most powerful. I absolutely love that. Let me say hello and welcome. We've got a few more people who have joined us. We've got Rabid Slug Ouchies. Hello, love. Great to see you, as always. We've got Snowdub. Great to see you, sweetheart. Let's have a look. It says, are you using the right mic? As far as I'm aware, yeah. It might just be because I had to lean back from the mic because it was hitting the pop shield. So hopefully it sounds okay. Let's see who else has joined. We've got Terry Rose. Hello, sweetheart. Great to see you. So great to see everybody today. So guys, hopefully I have kind of given a little bit of an idea of why I love Terry Pratchett, why I think Discworld is such a important series of books, and why I would recommend them so highly. They are books and an author that has shaped the way that I think is the way that I see the world, and pretty much the way I am as a person. And for that, I am incredibly grateful to him. And I've made many friends along the way whilst having, being a part of this fandom. I think the love for these books is never going to fade, at least for me. And if I can just pass on a little bit of that love to somebody else and perhaps give them a recommendation for a very worthy author, fantastic. So guys, let me say a massive thank you again to everybody who has been on this journey so far. You guys are incredible. Always, I know I say this a lot, but it always surprises me that we get to do this. We are very lucky. Hello to JD, great to see you. And Roger Ryder says, StreamYards likes to change settings. It does, unfortunately. StreamYards is a little bit temperamental, but that's okay. Hopefully, you guys can hear me all right. If not, what I will do is I will just reread that and just release it as a small a small video. I think that would work, but hope it was okay. Paul Cook says, awesome. Thank you so much for recommending Terry Pratchett. Well, thank you for joining. Thank you all. I know we've got fans, and we've also got people that have never heard of him or read him before. So if we can spread a little bit of light and a little bit of love, that's what I would like to do, especially to end this week that's been a little bit hectic, but still very much a fun one. We have got a couple more messages to grab, so let me say thank you and a warm welcome to Cam's Crash Course. Great to see you, love. He's been with us for 4 months as a berserker. He says, hail Purple, mods and chat. Congratulations on 2K. Thank you, love. Always great to see you, Cam. I know you're very busy as well, so always a treat to see you. And again, let me say thank you to Ian So Forth. He says, congrats on a well-deserved 2K milestone, Purple. Could talk Pratchett all day. He was a huge inspiration to me. Well, if you would ever like to come on and kind of banter back and forth about some of the books, I would love to get to chat with you. And that goes to anybody else, anybody who wants to talk books or anything like that. I love getting to have guests on and to really talk about something positive. I know we cover a lot of various topics here on Rise and Shine, and a lot of them are kind of pop culture, but anytime I can kind of take a step back and talk about something that I love, even for just one show, it makes me smile, as you can see. So thank you for that. Great to see you. So guys, what we've got coming up, keep an eye out this evening. I think there might be a new show coming, not on this channel, but I will certainly be tweeting it out. I don't believe I've got anything going on tomorrow. I'm actually going to take a day off, go outside, go to the park, get some fresh air and relax on Saturday. Sunday, I will be back and I will be joining both Mackney Draws for his live stream. Really looking forward to that. The last one was incredibly relaxing. I made a Triceratops with clay, so this time I might make something different. I've got an idea, but I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do yet. And also on Sunday evening, I'm going to be joining another live stream to talk about the Northman with a Trouble Green. Really looking forward to joining her. She's got some fantastic takes, really talented YouTuber, so it's going to be a great one. So guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a fantastic weekend. Look after yourselves, look after each other, reach out, get on Twitter, because Twitter's a much happier place now, and just do something that you love over the weekend. I think would be the best thing that I could ask for you. You guys are amazing as always. So thank you again. And fingers crossed, here's to many more. So guys, your Valkyrie loves you. And we will see each other again very, very soon. Take care.